G'day everyone and welcome back to another Aussie Investing Machine live stream. Thank you so much for joining me on this Wednesday night. I hope you're all well and have had a good week so far. Lots of market movement this week as per usual, although the trend has been down, unfortunately. If you've been an afterpay investor, you've had a bit of a better day. They've had a bit of a lift today. But yeah, there's definitely been a lot of movements that I guess we'll take the time to talk about. Whatever questions you might have, I'm happy to answer at any point in time. If you're new to the channel, please feel free to subscribe and give the video a like. It really helps out the channel. I might just do a quick overview of my portfolio first, and then we'll talk about the two companies which feature in the thumbnail, and of course talk about any companies that you might like to discuss. That's what we're here to do. So if I jump over to my portfolio, try and make that a bit bigger. Here we can see what's been going on. So only 3 stocks in the black at the moment. Best performing stock is an ETF, the iShares S&P 500, making a healthy 16% profit, which is great. Kogan's still suffering the worst. Northern Star not far behind. A couple of the miners not doing so well. Some are doing well. One of those miners is Pilbara Minerals, so we'll have a look at them and see maybe what they're doing differently. And then Polynovo is another one which we want to talk about, and what's striked my interest with Polynovo is that there's been a major director transaction. So we'll have a look at how much that transaction was and whether or not it's a good time to buy. Polynovo is certainly a stock that I'm interested in personally, so picking the right time to invest is really important to me. I definitely don't want to buy it if it's going to go down further. It's looking like it's stabilized, and now we're seeing some insider buying, so we'll get to that in just a moment. You can see I've got quite a bit of cash that's not deployed. I'll be topping that up again shortly on payday and try and get 30 to 40 grand in the market as soon as possible. I think considering there's some discounted stocks, or what I would consider to be discounted at the moment. Now, just note this video is not financial advice and there's no stock buy recommendations in this video, so please keep that in mind, and before making any financial decisions, please consult a licensed financial advisor. So just jump over to so let's have a quick look at Fortescue. It's a great company to have a look at. I'll just pull them up. So Fortescue, we know, is a big iron ore miner. Export a lot of material to China. I think over 90% of their exports, or 90% of the minerals they dig up, go to China. So, and they also pay a very healthy dividend. 1 year return is very healthy at 121%, although that's probably capturing the March lows of last year. So most stocks are going to look quite good in that 1 year range. PE is very low, dividends very high. And if we look, we'll just jump to their dividend consistency at the moment. You can see it's a little bit up and down, but has been relatively consistent and growing, which is good. Bit of a slump in 2021, which is unusual considering the iron ore price. So as you can see, share price has definitely slumped. It's come down from 25, so it's lost a fifth of its value, which is not ideal, and 8% down today. So first thing I'd look at to see what's going on, I don't actually know. A drilling update, that might have triggered it. Whether that was positive or negative news. Oops. Let's have a look. Tasman Resources. Right, must be an arm of the business. Yeah, wholly owned subsidiary. Couple of drill points. So it's saying there are substantial deposits, perhaps maybe not as much as what they we're expecting. Yeah. No estimate of the abundance at this stage, so it's an uneventful report. That may have been the trigger. This was, that was, some time ago. It was about a week ago, so perhaps not. Yeah, I'm not sure why it's slipping. Is there any selling, I wonder? Oops, maybe I've gone past it. Director interests, director transactions. So nothing that stands out, no real action since Feb. Yeah, not sure. I wonder if the Motley Fool has an opinion on this. Let's have a look. Here we go. So 6 hours ago, why these shares were tumbling lower. Fortescue, investors have been selling. Sharp pullback in the iron ore price overnight, so it's a good one to have a look at. If we have a look on market index, we can view all the major commodities, and iron ore's dropped from 173 down to 168. So a drop, but not catastrophic, not 8%. So perhaps investors are a bit spooked. Yeah, China's imposed some restrictions. So that's a bit of background. It looks to be associated with the iron ore price. I hope that answers your question. No other real information out of the company. So Polynovo, the Arab investor, good to see you, mate. Hope you're having a good week. Yeah, we'll chat about them shortly. Just hold on to that thought. Like 3 is mine. Thanks, Think Help. Appreciate it, mate. What am I keen on buying, topping up? Yeah, so potentially some of the holdings I've already got. Potentially companies like BetMakers. Potentially Polynovo. Maybe Afterpay, although I've been discussing with a few people during the week, and there's been some comments that have come about PayPal making a market entrance in Australia. That's a threat, I think. I still think Afterpay is becoming good value. They're one of the strongest growth stocks on the ASX at the moment. Incredible sales growth metrics. It's just how sustainable their business model is, and their moat, and whether or not their moat's strong enough. There's a lot of competitors, so I'm not sure my conviction's so strong with Afterpay. I don't know, what do you think? Do you think it's strong enough to withstand the market forces? Perhaps it is at the right price. It certainly could be. So there are a couple of the companies that I'm looking out for. Also Avita, I think. Let's see if I can pull them up. So Avita, AVH. So this is a company that's producing COVID tests, or rapid COVID tests. You can see over 5 years they're really far down, but their financial performance is quite excellent in terms of growth. No real announcements, but if we have a look at something like half-year results, we can see, let's have a look for revenue. Cash is down, but that's balance sheet revenue. Yeah, so rapidly increasing, 3,200 to 5,100. Huge growth. Be better to get a bit of a longer term snapshot. We could perhaps do that on Self-Wealth. Have a look at their financials. You can see this revenue. Perhaps it's only over the last year. And some of that is due to government funding as well. So that 1 year snapshot might be better to pull it over 5 years on my next stock scan. But just food for thought. So Think Help, g'day. Hope you're well, mate. Thanks for joining in again. China just did a stop on iron imports. Yep, spot on. That's exactly what's happened. Heard it on the radio. Yep. Either the radio or Motley Fool will always give you the answer. Pat, was Fortescue shorted? Yeah, that's not... Yeah, we know Northern Star was, but that's sort of... There's been a bit of pullback on that. We could have a look at Fortescue. Just have a look. Short percentage. I think we can actually go popular pages, short sale data. And here we're looking for Fortescue. Doesn't appear to be there. Here they are, down at 286, so pretty low, 0.42, so doesn't seem to be the issue. But Northern Star, it's still at 1.69, so not that high, but it's been a lot worse, that's for sure. You have to have a look at a different website for that, but Northern Star's looking particularly good value at the moment, but whether or not this price dive is at the bottom or not, that's another question. So what's their PE ratio at the moment? If I missed it, not exactly sure. Have a quick look at self-wealth. Northern Star, $22 PE, so it's still on the high end for a traditional company. Okay, what else have we got? Yeah, so it's because of it. That's the Chinese halt on iron ore. Still holding Crown? No, got rid of Crown for sure. Made a profit on Crown. See if I can have a look. Here's Crown. So I sold at 10.05 and it's recent, completed, and I bought Crown at 9.05, so 10% gain, but just felt pretty uncomfortable. Was trying to make my portfolio a little bit leaner, have a bit of a fresh start, and Crown quite concerned about their loss of license in Sydney and their license in Melbourne's being threatened as well. Perth's okay, but yeah, I'm just a bit concerned about the overall business sustainability, I think, and that's why I exited from Crown. So the only mining I'm into is Bitcoin, Ethereum, and DeFi coins. Yeah, Bitcoin's rebounded from its last pullback. A missed opportunity to get in again. Whether or not I should get in at the next pullback, I think it's now becoming obvious that I should. So might start to have a look at Bitcoin and maybe Ethereum as well. There was another coin actually that Think Help you might know something about. I'll tell you what it is. Someone was talking to me about it before. Ripple and what was the other one? Chainlink. If you know anything about Chainlink, let me know. Something that I might have to do some research into. So yeah, let's chat about Polynovo. It's gone up 3%, and I'm not surprised because we've had a recent quite large director transaction. If we have a look here, David Williams, who is one of the directors, although he's not listed here, he bought $700,000 at a price of $2.40. It's now gone up a little bit. It's made a healthy 3% overnight. The 1 year return's pretty good, although we can see that's pulling it from the price over here. It's definitely had a bit of a peak and it's been knocked back down since. Really like Polynovo. They produce like polymers that are used for burns and hernias. So it's like fake skin, and you apply it to a wound or inside the body, and it helps to restructure and hold together something that's split essentially, or something that's damaged like a burn. Terrible explanation, I know, but if you're interested more about what they do, you should check out their investor presentation. It's a good Australian biotech company that is producing a product that is being used internationally. That's why I'm personally interested in them. Not yet profitable, but not far off. So you can see the earnings per share is very narrow, very close to zero. I think profitability's targeted this year, so big things could happen with this company if everything goes right. Not too badly impacted by elective surgeries, because a lot of this is critical. It's just more about doctor and surgeon adoption of their product, and if they can get that rolling, that could be a massive source of growth for the company in years going forward. That's why I like Polynovo. I think there's that news of the director transaction that was some good news. It's helped the price, shows confidence in the company. See if we can just have a look at their latest investor presentation. It might give a better snapshot of exactly what I'm talking about. There's that Novosorb, that material I was referring to. Great increases in revenue, 25% up. Their financials are fantastic in terms of growth. They've got a chief operating officer who's come across from CSL, an amazingly successful company, so that's a massive positive, getting some experience in. They've got a factory in Port Melbourne, I think, coming up, so local production, which personally I think is a great thing. They're expanding. I talk about their distributors. Lots of revenue coming in from governments trialing their product. US and Canada as well. Bit of capital works, which is obviously impacting their bottom line, spending on factory. Extrusion machines in Scoresby, brought to Port Melbourne for their hernia production run. So it's looking good for Polynovo. I think they've weathered 2020 well. We can see the growth here, total revenue, regional revenue going up, product sales up 31%. Strong, Quarter one up 75% on the previous quarter one. Looking very good. These are all strong numbers, so it's definitely a company I'm looking at in terms of growth. I think Polynovo, for me, strong pick personally. I'd love to know your thoughts. Is it a company that maybe you're interested in investing in? Let me know. Perth Crown's also being investigated. Yeah, not looking good for Crown. I think things are starting to unravel. So, yeah. Now, the other company I wanted to talk about is Pilbara. So, Pilbara trading at just under $1. You can see it's had a really strong rise. It's it's had a slight impact in the past few weeks or month, as have most stocks. But the thing I found really interesting, if you look at the ASX 300 and you look at the top performers over the past year, Pilbara is the number one. Best return. They've knocked everybody over. Afterpay used to be up here. They're now dropped down into 5th position. So Pilbara, what are they doing differently to other miners? As we said, Northern Star, Linus is doing well as well, but Pilbara is topping the charts. So that's what I wanted to have a quick look at and just see what they're up to. So we'll check out their half-year results presentation. So gross margin, they're profitable, which is really great. Massive EBITDA of 1.7 mil. However, they're not profitable. They made a net loss, statutory net loss of 21 mil. So cash gross margin of 8.1 mil. note the difference there. So let's have a look at their operations, see if they give us any info. No, we'll go to another presentation, maybe the half-year report. Nope. Let's have a look. Looking for an investor presentation. Here we go. So this is for an equity raising activity they did, so it should really convince us to invest. So here they are. They're trying to acquire Altura lithium operations, so expand their mine. Very similar to what Northern Star did with Saracen Minerals, purchasing a nearby neighbouring mine. They're funding it through equity raising, makes sense. So it enhances their scale of operation, consolidating neighbouring operations, rapidly increase production in response to a rising lithium market. So clearly a lithium miner based in Australia, which is different to someone like Lake Resources as well. And we can see their production is what they're trying to lift by this strategic purchase. Talking a bit about the reserves and the potential there. So nothing here that we didn't know, I guess, but just pushing that they are, they're a growing company. If we look at the lithium spot price, that could be something really interesting to look at. We noted that in previous episodes that it used to be quite high. Wonder if we can get this. Yeah. So it was much higher than it is now in 2017, and we've seen a lot of these lithium miners be quite resilient over the past few months because of this strong lithium price. We can see it's starting to tail off now. However, it's been a massive lift from December. So this is probably why these lithium miners have weathered the market storm so well this far. So I wonder if that trend will continue into the future. We can see this sort of starting to roll off at the moment. Someone like Vulcan, for example, has been hit super hard. Vulcan was trading at around $10, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, they hit that $10 price target and have now slid all the way down to $5.50. So I wonder if anyone entered into Vulcan at near the top. Let me know. I think we all know when we see this straight line price movement, it's a bit of a worry, to say the least. But I think I got a lot of conviction about Vulcan. I love their strategy and their asset. If you don't know, Vulcan also is aiming to mine, might be lithium or graphite. Lithium. And they're doing this in Northern Europe, and the site they've got in the Rhine region of Germany has geothermal properties. So not only will they be able to mine lithium, but they'll also be able to produce energy. And this offsets the energy production cost of producing lithium. And therefore their lithium product is green or energy neutral. And that's a big deal, especially if the Eurozone starts imposing embodied energy targets on production of electric vehicles, which could be the next big thing, considering that at the moment all of their emission standards are revolving around CO2 production in cars, and they have to be below a certain threshold. That's why we're seeing engines getting smaller and smaller and tighter restrictions on car exhausts. There's no doubt they'll introduce a similar green measure for electric cars. An electric car is obviously good for the environment once it's produced, but the production of that electric car is what has the environmental impact. So that's why it'll be really important for companies like Vulcan to be able to sell green lithium, and probably why I'd pick it over Pilbara. I'd love to know your thoughts. They're a lot further behind the ball than Pilbara. However, yeah, I've got a bit more conviction about that company. Think help. Ripple, aka XRP, no thanks link, not my cup of tea, but interesting. I'm more into DOT, Polkadot, Yeah, cool. I have to have a look into some of these. I'm not super familiar with them. PLS or a gold miner? No. No, I think Pilbara do. Maybe they do a bit of gold, but I think lithium's their main goal. Keeping Pilbara on the watch list. Not overly keen on more hard rock lithium as it's low yield. Yep. I think spodamine's the other type you might be referring to. Been buying Vulcan on the way down. Good move. And the biggest lithium deposit in the EU is EMH. Yeah, okay. Cool. Okay, guys, I think that's a brief overview of those two companies and what's been happening in the market. If you've got any questions, launch them away now. If you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and give the video a like if you're enjoying the content. So ask your questions now, otherwise I might wrap this one up. It's been great having a chat with you again tonight, and I'll see you at the same time next week. But yeah, thanks so much for joining me on this one. Until next time, I'll catch you on the next live stream. Cheers.